Okay, welcome everyone. As we are coming down the home stretch of Masechtas Nedarim in the 11th parak, as we learn Mishna Tes and Mishna Yud, sponsored Mishna Shlomo ben Moshe Elimelech ben Eliezer and Lefu Shlomo for Yomis ben Chaisar, Schus of Avram Yom ben Ishmael Yudis and family. We're also learning about a Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, Peril Bas Ruvain, by Yoel Klugman and family, also Lefu Shlomo for Meir ben Chaisara, and we learned from my mother, Esther Fradel Bas Chana. She's having a procedure tomorrow. She should have a Refuah Shalema B'Seich Shar Chayil Yisrael. Now the pasuk seems to say something that is unnecessary. V'neder v'almana ugrusha yokem aleh. The vow of a widow or a divorcee is upheld. Well, of course, there's nobody to annul it. So the Gemara says, Keitzad, what's the chiddush? Amra hareini nazira la'achar shloshim yom. If she says when she is widowed or divorced or single, I should be a Nazirite after 30 days. Even though within the 30 days she gets married, the husband can't annul it. Even though at the time that the Naziris is going to be chal, she's already married, he can't annul it because at the time she made the vow, she was an almana or a grusha or a single. And it goes, and a husband cannot be made for b'kaiden. Nadra v'hi b'shus habal. The other way around. Let's say Ruvain was married to Sarah. She made a vow while she was married to Ruvain. Mayfala, he could annul it, even though when the vow was going to be chal, she won't be married anymore. Keitzad, Amra hareini nazira la'achar shloshim. I want to be a nazir after 30 days. When she said it, she was married to Ruvain. Even though she was widowed or divorced during the 30 days, since the husband annulled it before he died or before he divorced her, harizeh mufer, because at the time she made the vow, she was married. Now, the final case is that Sarah is a real fickle girl. Ruvain was married to Sarah Monday morning. Monday morning, she made a vow not to drink wine. Monday at noon, she got divorced from Ruvain. And then he remarried her at mincha time. And then he heard that she made a neder in the morning, but since then, she was divorced from him, because now, at the time, in the afternoon, this is already a pre-existing vow before the second time that she married Ruvain, and he's not allowed to annul it. If she went out of the rishus of her husband for an hour, he can't annul any pre-existing vows, even if he marries her again. Now the next Mishnah, the Taisis Yom Tov says, is l'chadeid es ha-talmidim, to sharpen the talmidim. What do I mean by that? Really, the next Mishnah tells us there are three conditions that a father cannot annul the vow of his daughter. One is, no surprise, if he dies. If he dies, he can't annul the vow. If you need help, you'll call, Marshall afterwards to explain that to you. But if the father is dead, right, he can't annul her vows. That's the first thing. The second thing is if she was a baigress, if she became of age of 12 and a half in one day. Once she becomes 12 and a half in one day, she's out of the rishus of the father, and the father can't annul her vow. The third thing is if she was fully married and then divorced or widowed, she's completely out of the rishus of her father, because once marriage is consummated, she is now out of the rishus of the father. That's called the Yisoima B'chaya Yaviyah. Even if she gets divorced or widowed, she's considered like an orphan during the lifetime of the father, because since she was fully married, she's out of the rishus of the father. So those are the three cases. If she's a baigress, if she was fully married, or if the father died. However, the Mishnah will make 9 cases out of this. And again, the Tais Yom Tov says that this is to sharpen the Talmidim. Teisha Na'orais, there are 9 maidens, Nidreyan Kayamim. Their neder is upheld, the father cannot annul it. Bogeres Vihi Yisayma. If she's of age, 12 and a half in 1 day, and also she was fully married already, so she's an orphan in the lifetime of her father. So that's 2 reasons why the father can't annul it. Or Nara, if she made the vow while she was 12, but Ubagra, then she became 12 and a half in 1 day, and also V'yisayim, and also she was married already, even though she was divorced and widowed. Or Nara Shaloi Bagra, or even if she was a Nara, she didn't become a Bagris yet, she's still 12, but V'yisayim, but she was fully married and then divorced or widowed, so she's out of the Rishus of the father, so the father can't annul the vow. The next 3, Bageres, if she was of age, 12 and a half in 1 day, and also makes her father's dead. So if the father's dead, he can't annul it, and he wouldn't be able to annul it anyway because she was also a Bageres. Nara Bageres, she made the vow when she was a maiden at 12, but Bageres, she became of age, and also makes her and also her father died. Or Nara Shaloi Bagra, or she's still in the range of 12 to 12 and a half, but her father died, can't be annulled. The next 3, Nara Shemei Savia, a maiden whose father died, and Shemei Savia Bagra, and since her father died, she also became a Bageres. So there's 2 reasons. First, her father died, and also she's 12 and a half in 1 day. Or Bageres Vavia Kayim, if she's 12 and a half in 1 day, her father is alive. So he can't annul it because she's already of age. Or Nara, she made it when she was a maiden, but Bageres, she became of age 12 and a half in 1 day, and even though Vavia Kayim, he can't annul it, because once she becomes 12 and a half in 1 day, she goes out of his Rishus. Now the Mishnah ends with a Chiddush from Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda says, when does marriage cause her to leave her father's Rishus? That's if she was married and she's already a Nara, already a Bas Mitzvah. But if she was married as a Ketana, and her husband died or divorced her while she was a Ketana, then as a Nara, the father could still annul her vows. She only goes out of the Rishus of the father with widowhood or divorce if she was already a Nara. Rabbi Yehuda Aimer, Afamasi Bita Yaktana. If he accepts marriage for his minor daughter, V'niska Almana or Niskash, and she was widowed or divorced while she was a Ketana, the Chazrei Etzlai, and now she goes back into her father's Rishus, and a Dayan Hinara, she's still a Nara, she's still between 12 and 12 and a half and 12 in 1 day and 12 and a half in 1 day, the father could still annul her vows. We want to thank you very much for joining us. Remind you tomorrow night again at 5 to 8. Looking for a sponsor for the Haggadah Shir this week, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a truly wonderful day.